Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Pharmacypedia. In this session, we are going to learn about the soft gelatin capsules. We are going to study about the nature of the shell contents, nature of the capsule content, and about the size of the capsules. So before we begin about these contents, let us first try to understand what do we mean by the soft gelatin capsules. The soft gelatin capsules. As the term indicates soft, they are the one piece hermetically sealed. Hermetically sealed, that means by the heat sealed. Soft gelatin shells which contains a liquid or a suspension or a semi-solid. So these capsules are unique drug delivery systems that can provide the distinct advantages over traditional dosage forms such as tablets, hard gelatin capsules and liquids. So what are the advantages associated specifically with the soft gelatin capsules? So they are totally different from the hard gelatin capsules in a way that they comprises of a very soft shells, although made up of the gelatin, but it has a higher plasticizer content, and apart from that it also has many other components. So when we take the soft gelatin capsules, they are basically help us out in having the improved bioavailability. Apart from that, enhanced drug stability is also achieved. They have the better patient compliance. They can be differentiated very easily by their specific color, size, and the shape. And also, they are very easy to swallow. There are certain disadvantages also associated with the capsules. For example, they need specific equipment, specific process. For example, the aquagel techniques or the plate process, they need specific equipment and the process for the manufacturing. Since the process is little bit complex. Moreover, they have the higher manufacturing cost as compared to the hard gelatin capsules. And moreover, there are stability concerns with certain compounds that needs to be encapsulated, has to be selective. Not every compound can be encapsulated in the soft gelatin capsules, since due to the presence of the plasticizer, due to the migration of the solvent from the gelatin shell or from the encapsulated mass to the gelatin shell, which can alter the properties of the soft gelatin. So these are the specific disadvantages associated with the soft gelatin capsules, that they require special equipments for the manufacturing. They have the more long-term stability concerns, and also the possibility of the incompatibility may arise between the filled components and the gelatin. And they are also not suitable for the components which are very hygroscopic or are very moisture sensitive. Next, we move on to the composition of the soft gelatin shells. So, soft gelatin shells are basically composed of the gelatin type B. Along with that, they contain plasticizers such as glycerol, sorbitol, etc. And they have the water and other additive substances which are being added up into the shell. For example, the coloring agents, opacifiers, preservatives, flavoring agents, etc. Next, we move on to the different sizes of the soft gelatin capsules. Soft gelatin capsules basically arises in the four forms. The very first is the oblong form, followed by the round form, round spherical shape, followed by the oval shape and the tube shape. So apart from that, the tube shapes are specifically used for the ophthalmics and suppositories. So you can see the oblong shape, it is slightly tubical structure. That there are different sizes available in that. They are vastly used oblong structure. They are easy to intake also. Then second comes the round shape, which is having the perfect spherical shape, followed by the oval shape. Oval shapes you must have noticed in the Podinhara also, and the tube shape, which actually helps us in taking out the components like for the ophthalmic tubes, which requires the long-term stay and have to be inserted into the eyes at the night time. So these are the available in different sizes, in different forms, and according to the specific requirement of the patient or the manufacturer, any of the form can be selected and can be customized. Now let us try to understand what are the nature of the shell contents and what are the nature of the capsule content. Let us first focus on the shell content. The shell of the soft gelatin capsules basically comprises of the gelatin. Now, the gelatin which needs to be used in the soft gelatin capsule should be of the USP grade, and it should have some additional specification. For example, bloom strength, viscosity, and the iron content of the gelatin. So, my dear students, three things are very important when you consider the selection of the gelatin for the soft gelatin capsules. The first is the bloom strength. Now, let us first try to understand what is the bloom strength. Basically, bloom strength, also known as the gel strength, measures the cohesive strength of the cross-linking that occurs between the gelatin molecules and is proportional to the molecular weight of the gelatin. Mostly, the gelatin strength ranges from the 150 to 250 grams. So, the higher the bloom strength of the gelatin used, the more physically stable is the resulting capsule shell. So, in a nutshell, you can say bloom strength actually measures the cohesive strength of the gelatin shells. Now, this gelatin shell cohesive strength or the gel strength actually helps in a way that it protects your encapsulated content. So, the strength also varies, ranging from 150 to 250 grams, mostly used in the range of 180 to 190 grams generally. So, it is being said that higher the bloom strength of the gelatin, the more physically stable is the resulting capsule cells. But one thing is also to be noted down here. One thing is very important is that the higher the bloom strength, higher is the cost of the gelatin. So if you select a very high strength bloom strength gelatin, it will be costing very high and the overall product will become expensive. So a mediocre range is being selected by the manufacturer, keeping into account everything. Moreover, the viscosity of the gelatin, which is the measure of the molecular chain length and determines the manufacturing characteristics of the gelatin film. Three things which are very important to take into consideration is the bloom strength, viscosity, and the iron content of the gelatin used. The nature of the shell content also specifies the limitation for the gelatin. The viscosity of the gelatin ranges from 25 to 45 millipoise. So, in a nutshell, low viscosity ranging from 25 to 30 millipoise and high bloom strength into the range of 182 to 50 grams gelatins are used in conjunction with the encapsulation of the hygroscopic vehicles or the solids. It is also important to understand here is that iron is always present in the raw gelatin. So gelatin is used in the manufacturing of the soft gelatin capsule should not contain more than 15 ppm of this element. Because it is very important here to understand because of its effect on the certified dyes and its possible color reactions with the organic compound. It has been found that the gelatin containing more than iron strength was found to actually affect the coloring actually found to interact with the coloring components of the soft gelatin shells, and it caused the color reaction. So the color found on the soft gelatin capsules was not uniform, it varied. So in order to avoid that issue, it was understood that iron should be below the 15 ppm content. Now let us try to understand the properties of the plasticizers. Plasticizer gelatin ratio is very important. Very few plasticizers are used for soft gelatin capsules like glycerin, sorbitol, or a combination of glycerin or sorbitol. It has been found that the ratio of dry plasticizer to the dry gelatin actually determines the hardness of the gelatin shell. So the more is the plasticizer, the more hard would be the gelatin strength. So apart from the plasticizers, the other substance which is being utilized is the water. Now since only water is lost during the capsule's drying process, the percentage of plasticizer and the gelatin in the shell is increased. But the important point is that the ratio remains the same. So even if the water vaporizes, the ratio of the plasticizer to gelatin remains same. So it does not alter the hardness of the capsules. In this table, you can clearly visualize the hardness, medium, and soft nature of the soft gelatin capsules. So it is being found if the ratio of the dry glycerin to dry gelatin is 4.4 to 1, the same kind of the substances can be encapsulated like oral, oil-based, cell softening products, and those destined primarily for the hot or humid areas. If the glycerin to gelatin ratio lies between 0.6 to 1, ranging as the medium hardness. So substances like oral, tube, vaginal, oil-based products, water miscible based substances can be prepared. And if the glycerin gelatin strength is kept from point A to 1, the soft would have a soft gelatin shell, and it can be used for the preparation of vaginal, water miscible based or shell hardening products, and those destined primarily for cold and dry areas. Yes. One more important thing to mention over here is that apart from the gelatin, plasticizers, and water, certain other substances are also used for the preparation of the soft gelatin capsule shells. For example, preservatives, which are widely used, are like methyl paraben, propyl paraben, but they are used in the concentration of very less concentration, like 0.2 to 1%. The reason being that it is important to understand here that we are concerned with the bloom strength, viscosity part of gelatin more, and these properties only impart certain characteristic attributes which are not that much desired. Then apart from that, opacifying agents like titanium dioxide also has to be used within the specific range of 0.2 to 1.2%. Apart from that, other substances like acids, fumaric acid, shall also be used within the range of 1%. So it must be noted down here is that all the additional substances apart from the plasticizers, apart from the gelatin, apart from the water, are used below 1%. Few things to be noted down here is that apart from these substances, we use preservatives, coloring agents, opacifying agents, flavoring agents, sugars, and acid. But all these substances have to be limited within the range of 1%, because we are more concerned with the soft gelatin strength properties like bloom strength, viscosity. We are more concerned with the selection of the viscosifying agents. Plasticizers are very important in the case of soft gelatin capsules. Now, when we try to understand the process for the capsule content, we try to understand the nature of the capsule content. There are four methods by which the soft gelatin capsules are being produced. First is the plate method. Second is the aquagel method. Now, it is very important to note here is that aquagel process is similar to the rotary dye process. So this process is specifically used for filling the solid content into the capsule shells. Apart from that, the other methods which have been used by which we can actually fill up with the liquid or the suspension forms. So except for the aquagel process, which is concerned with the capsulation of the dry powders, the contents of the soft gelatin capsule is a liquid or a combination of the miscible liquids, solution of the solids or liquids or suspension or as solid in liquid. It is very important to note and understand here is that when we try to analyze the size and the content and the volume of the soft gelatin capsule, it has been proven out that the maximum capsule size and the shape for convenient oral use in humans is the 20 minims for the oblong. We have noticed four types of shapes concerned with the soft gelatin capsule. First was the oblong. So for the in case of the oblong shape, we need to keep the size to the 20 minim for a comfortable use. And if the shape selected is oval in shape, then the 16 minim is the preferred size range. If the shape selected is round or spherical in shape, then the size is 9 minims. Apart from that, the gelatin plasticizers such as glycerine, propylene glycol cannot be the major constituents of the capsule content owing to their softening effect on the capsule shell. Now, one thing very important to understand here is that when we talk about the soft gelatin capsules, basically what happens is that if we fill the soft gelatin capsules with the water or water-based liquid, what will happen is that the water from the solvent, water will migrate to the capsule shell. Now, what will happen if this migration happens? The shell of the capsule will become very soft and it will not serve its purpose. It is also being found that the water from the gelatin strength also passes on to the capsulated material. So this migration actually happens, but it should not ultimately affect the stability of the gelatin strength. It should not affect the stability of your soft gelatin capsules. So it has to be taken care in mind that there are only certain substances which are either immiscible in nature or which are suspensions which that can only be filled up into the capsule shell, that can only be a part of that encapsulated material. We cannot fill them with the water or ethanol. The reason being the water from the capsulated mass will migrate to the shell and make the soft shell, which shall not serve the purpose. So it is advised that most widely used liquids for human consumptions, which can be encapsulated with the soft gelatin capsules, are like oils, which are having the active ingredients like clofibrate, or the vegetable oils, for example, soybean oil, or mineral oil, non-ionic surfactants such as polysorbate 80 and polyethylene glycol 400 and 600 mg, or in the combination with the fish oil or multivitamin capsules. You must have observed also, like when we talk about the soft gelatin capsules, we have seen that lot many like fish oil, cod liver oil capsules, pudin hara. So those substances which are immiscible in nature, which are having the oily characteristics, various types of vegetable oils, mineral oils, are found encapsulated very easily into the soft gelatin capsules. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're visiting my channel for the first time, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel Pharmacypedia for getting further updates. Thank you so much.